Hi, this is Political News in 5, and today is April 2nd, 2023. Now I'm starting with election crimes. Last week, the Nigeria police announced that it had apprehended 781 persons in connection with election crimes conducted on February 25th and March 18th. That's good news. However, the question I want to know is what happened to those who were arrested for election crimes in 2019? Because I see 2019 as the beginning of the deterioration in the quality of our elections, with a return of ballot box snatching, more violence and intimidation of voters at the polling units. We also even saw the rape and abduction of INEC officials, really terrible. It was the election where the returning officer for Imo West Senatorial District complained that he had only announced Rochas as the winner of the senatorial election under duress when he had been detained for days. And then the Nigerian police had said that they announced that they had arrested over 100 people. And so where's the record of those who were prosecuted, who went to jail, who were fined? 2 years after Trump supporters stormed Capitol Hill to try and stop the election count, over 1,000 people have been successfully prosecuted. 4 people were charged with felony just barely 14 days ago. So it's ongoing. Actions have consequences. In Nigeria, despite our rich history of election rigging, we have many who want to just explain it away by saying, oh, everybody rigs, no election is perfect. That's not where we want to be. We want to be where we're punishing people who commit election crimes, either people on the streets, the public thugs, as we like to call them, or people within INEC who are responsible for compromising the elections. This is why so many people are unhappy with the quality of the 2023 elections. And if we don't punish people responsible, we can expect worse or a continuation in 2027. Speaking of election crimes, the second thing I'm talking about are the inconclusive elections and the supplementary elections scheduled for April 15th. Now, what are inconclusive elections? This is when the number of cancelled votes exceeds the margin between the winner and the runner-up. And we had this in 2 cases for gubernatorial elections in Kebbi and Adamawa. Let me explain using the candidates for Adamawa. So in between, the PDP is leading, the governor, and Senator Aisha Benani is the APC candidate. There's like 31,000 odd votes between them. So he's leading by 31,000, but the cancelled votes are even more than that margin. And so that's why the election is inconclusive and there's going to be a supplementary election. In Kebbi, you only have 21 local governments in the entire state, and in 20 of them, they had cancelled votes. The question we should be asking is, what necessitates so many cancelled votes? And the answer might be tied to allegations of beavers tampering. All in all, we're having supplementary elections in 18 states, 2 for gubernatorial and the rest for other seats in the National Assembly and State Assembly. Now, speaking of, again, just the quality of the elections, the third thing I'm talking about is just the long time to go before May 29. They say a day is a long time in politics, but if you have 58 days to go, it feels like a lifetime, especially with everything that's going on. We've had people calling for the military to come back and take over the country because of the conduct of the elections. I hope Professor Yakubu is proud of himself. That is not a good idea at all, because the military actually never left and we're still suffering an overhang of the culture that they built while they were in power. What ails us doesn't need less democracy, it needs more democracy. Second, we have the DSS joining into the noise and alleging that there are plans to put in place an interim government. Now, people are saying, just do your jobs. If you know who's plotting, then arrest them. If you have the evidence, don't come to us. Why are you telling us? And I perfectly agree with them. For me, it seems like they're trying to set up the public so that when they do something illegal and outside the rule of law, they will not be held accountable. And then third, there's still a lot of tensions between Igbo and Yoruba from the fallout of the presidential and gubernatorial elections, especially in places like Lagos. We've had someone arrested by the DSS for apparently saying he's going to invite IPOB to Lagos to protect Igbos. If he said that, that's quite unfortunate. It could be, no excuse, but it could be because of the threatening comments that have been made by people like MC Oloma and other people who are close to President-elect against Igbos. It could be about the 2 mysterious fires that have burnt properties in parts that are supposed to be heavily populated by Igbos in Lagos. So that's the context in which all of this is happening. And one would like to hope that, those responsible for the fires will be brought to book and punished publicly, that those who suffered losses will be compensated, and that the DSS will stop being selective about how it decides to investigate threats to security. And finally, that Tinubu will call his boys to order and ask them to temper their words. This is not a gangster movie. This is our country. That's it on Political News in 5. Have a great week ahead. Stay safe. Bye.